Hello.
Hi, that's so exciting to be here today. I am so happy. I have someone who is so amazing. JLo is in the house. And I just really want to do a shout out. Like, it's going to be a great conversation today. So, as everybody you may know, I have a Boss Ladies campaign going on right now, and I've been meeting some amazing women, one of which is Jennifer Lopez-Reed. And just a little bit about Jennifer. She's a chemical engineer turned head of HR for a Fortune 500 company. She also owns her own business. She's done some amazing and interesting. She's had an amazing career, which we're going to talk about today, and where she's been. She's been to some major places, guys. But about her business, she owns Intentional Unicorn, and she's just so passionate about helping women find their lives and in their career, and just being, especially for the Latino communities, but basically it's applicable to all women of color. And I'm so excited about today because it's women's the month of women's International Women's month. So it's just so fitting to have you on here today and just to have such great conversation. So without much ado, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. So everyone, please, if you're there, just kind of give a little bit of a round of applause to Jennifer Lopez.
Oh, thank you,
Yay!
Victoria. Thank you. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for the opportunity. And honestly, thanks for what you're doing because you're highlighting all these amazing, wonderful women that we have here in Indiana. And everybody brings something so unique right to our community. So thank you for what you do.
Oh no, you're just, I mean, it's just been a great opportunity for me, meeting all these great women. And I just feel like we could do even more with that synergy. So I'm really excited about everyone coming in, and we're creating beautiful pictures, and I cannot wait for the networking event where we all get together and just meet everybody. So I think it's going to be great. But yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself. Just give us a little bit of a history of how you got started up until now.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes. So I am originally from Puerto Rico, so Boricua. And I came to the United States to do my master's in chemical engineering. And the plan was to go back, right, to Puerto Rico. But I've been here since then. So this is my second home. And I'm here now located in Indiana. I have had the blessing of doing two careers in parallel. So part of me, I love the technical side as an engineer. The other side of me, I love the arts. So I've been a professional dancer and also in the fitness industry for many, many years, 22 years. Well, 22 years in fitness and way more. I'm not going to tell you how much because I'm going to date myself in
Right.
the but for example, like as a dancer and the fitness industry, I was a backup dancer for different artists in the Latin community, like Anita Nazario, Manny Manuel, Julio Iglesias, many working a TV show. Then I moved here and I was an NFL cheerleader, which I don't wear this very often, but I wore it because it's a special occasion.
Yeah.
Yes, and then I started working for the company Zumba as one of their master trainers, educating other instructors in the
Mhm.
Midwest. So very successful career. And on the other side, same thing, very similar. I've been in a Fortune 500 company, have had the blessing of being in leadership most of those years, and
Mhm.
it being in manufacturing quality, leading different sides. And I went to the business side, and now I'm in HR. And so I have had blessing. But my story is that even though in the surface, like if you look at the resume, like, oh wow, she has had a really good, successful career, they don't see like the feeling of swimming against the currents that I had to go through,
Mhm.
right? And it was not easy. And I always felt like there was something wrong with me. I always felt that's why the intentional unicorn, like a unicorn that was sticking out for the wrong reasons. And I
Mm.
tried so hard to like knock it down, like hide it and cover it up because I thought for me to be able to succeed here, then I needed to be like everybody else. I thought that was the formula, but it wasn't.
Mm.
I realized that what makes us unique is actually our competitive advantage. Like when we are at our own element and at our best, that's when we can lead at our best, we can serve at our best. And when I had that realization, that's when I was saying, no, no, like I'm actually going to be very intentional. Yes, I may be a unicorn, all of us are, but then
Yeah.
let's be intentional with it so then we can really thrive and help others.
Oh, amazing. That is so amazing. I really love that because I'm also an immigrant and I've been here for about 20 years as well. And there's
Mhm.
this notion that you think when you come to America, there's a certain way you have to do things in order for you to fit in and also succeed. It's almost like a template, but a lot of times, I find in my own particular life that I don't fit into that, and I'm trying really hard to kind of fit in because that's what is meant to be successful, what success
Yeah.
is being defined as. But, I just know there's so much more that we can do. There's so much more that I can do. And the moments that I started becoming intentional and wanting to be myself, I found that it's almost like I just opened up that, like it's like the heavens just opened up and doors just opening up for me. So I really love, I totally resonate with you. And I think a lot of people can resonate with that. And I know there's some people out there that are still stuck, they're still trying to do things the way we've been taught or we think it's supposed to be. So yeah, tell us a little bit more about intentional unique. I know you have so much greatness in your program and in your business and to offer women, but I just want to just tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So I also came in a realization because at some point in my career, like I told you, I was doing the dance and fitness, and I was doing
Mhm.
the engineer one for the lack of a better word. And I thought that for me, I had to choose one because I was just so
Mm.
tired of pushing against the current in both of them. And I asked a mentor outside of my company and said, I I think I come to a realization I'm gonna have to pick one. But then what side of me do I pick? Because if I chose one, am I gonna miss the technical side? If I chose the other one, am I gonna miss the artistic side? And
Yeah.
honestly, I was going through like a really bad anxiety chapter of my life. And he said, "Why don't you do both?" And like, well, that's what I've been doing, but I think they're actually playing against me. And he told me these words, and I for forever will love him for that. He said, "Do you understand that each side of you is making the other one bigger and better?" And I'm like,
Wow.
you are so right. Like it's also the narrative that we tell ourselves, right? I kept
Mhm.
saying they're playing against me, they're playing, and I was acting like that. And instead, I'm saying, no, I'm a better engineer because I have this creative side and these experiences, right? That my peers don't have, and that's how I can contribute. That's like the piece of the puzzle that I can, how do you say that? Feel, right? And the
Yes.
same thing, I was more organized in creating my business in the fitness side because of my technical side. And I
Right.
just needed to okay, I'm gonna own it. This is what makes me different, and I'm gonna lead with that. And then the other realization I had, okay, Jenny, what are some of those superpowers or strengths, right? That makes you you. That's whenever you're in your element, like I mentioned before, and you can like operate at your best. And how can I put now a flashlight on them, right? And just continue to develop. So even though I may say, okay, I'm a good cross-functional leader, how can I even be better? There's always a next level. And
Right.
because those things are all easy for you, for me, and you will have your own, then you continue to develop, right, to help others. And by itself is just, again, like that sense that you told you, like you said, the heaven open for me
Right.
was a sense of freedom, that I
Mm.
didn't have to be like anybody else or act like anybody else or talk like anybody else. I was me, and this is how I'm going to help you.
Wow, that's so powerful. I really like that. And so that kind of brought a question to mind. Like, so for women or people out there that are, in between, still doing their jobs, whatever that is, and then trying to start a business and, like just in between that rock and a hard place. I think what I'm hearing you say is that it's okay because both sides complement each other. You're learning something from both sides, and the experiences will help on both sides. So like, do you have anything else to add to that?
Oh, I love that question. And the thing is, Victoria, all of us, like maybe the people who are listening say, well, that's not me. I'm just a parent and I work. And like, no, don't say you're just a parent. As a parent, you have this unique skill set, right? That if you bring all of that learning that you do at home, at work, that elevates your presence at work. And many of us are, they have hobbies, right? I'm not saying hobbies, like husband hobbies. And maybe fitness or photography, like you're an amazing photographer, Victoria, and that's your gift, right? Other people, they coach their kids, and in the sports, like how do you get that, and bring it with you? Other people are in board of directors or other organizations. All of us we need to bring all those experiences with us and be our authentic self. Like imagine in the workplace if everybody brings their authentic self with all this crazy side of our to our,
Mm.
and all of us bring like that to work, like we will be unstoppable.
Right, right. That's so great. So I want to talk about intentional unicorn as your business.
Okay.
Because I know you do a lot of speaking. I know you're writing a book, and it's so exciting. I know you're very active on Instagram, y'all. If you haven't, just go right now and follow Jenny on Instagram at intentional unicorn. Unicorn. You would, I mean, she shares such a great tip. So I want you to talk. I want you to talk a little bit about your some of your services. I know you're doing like this free wow, which is the word of wisdom. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Before I do that, can I share a funny story how this name came up?
Yes.
Well, I was in a, and I wanted to share it because I actually brought the piece of paper. So
Okay.
I was in a leadership program, and this was several years ago. And they said, we're going to do icebreaker. So at the end of the day today, take a piece of paper, so it was a white paper, and some markers, and then write down what will be your memoir.
Hmm.
And everybody, and you have, I think they gave us like 3 minutes, like something super quick. And I'm like, I wrote it down, and I put it like a stick figure. And then half of me was serious, right? Was wearing like the business attire, and the other half of me had a little bit more color, had a ponytail, and was like striking a dancing pose. And I call it an intentional unicorn. The
Oh.
next day in the morning, we have a special guest, Victoria. You know who the guest was?
Ooh.
CEO of the company. So
Oh.
here with like my piece of paper shaking because all of us had to talk about our memoir.
Oh
And I
my
know
God.
people who were like very, I'm gonna, find the cure for X disease. I'm gonna have an economic growth impact in whatever industry. And I
Right.
showed up with this, guys.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh, I recognize your favorite colors in there too.
And I'm
Oh,
like, this is it. Like, but you know what? The CEO remember me because I was very unique.
yeah.
That's how it came the name. And then I said, I something I love in my role as a leader, right, in my career, is
Mhm.
empowering others, coaching, mentoring. And I say, how can I amplify the message? Because I saw a need based on personal experience, and I saw an opportunity. So in the Latino world, we are growing so fast, and people underestimate the talent that we bring, the superpowers that we bring to the table. And I
Mm.
think people are not understanding, like in 2050, we're going to be a third of the United States population. Like, think about that, right?
Wow.
So,
That's
how do
amazing.
we close the gap? Because when you look around, you don't see a lot of Latinos in really key roles out there. So, that's whenever
Mhm.
I say, even if it's just a little bit, granito de arena. I don't know how to say that in English. In English, like a
Lost
sand,
in there.
a sand little piece.
Yeah. A grain of sand.
There you go. Like, what can I do? And that's whenever I say, okay, one of the things I didn't used to, but I found my voice. How can I share my story? How can I
Mm.
share my learning? So that's whenever I started as a speaker, and
Mhm.
I do a lot of different national events, virtual, in person. That's whenever I started my coaching program. That's whenever I started writing a book, which is going to be launched in June. And just for the people who just want to get something now, right? Like maybe they just cannot invest into something else, then I do bi-weekly wows, which are words of wisdom. And I share strategies and tools on how they can really how to empower people to be able to thrive in life.
Oh my God, that's so powerful. Because I'm meeting a lot of women right now that, it's almost like we're stuck. You have such great ideas, your dreams and everything. You see it come true, but for some reason, just going from the dream to reality is like a jump, and it seems almost impossible. So that's why I love what you're doing, because like you're speaking life into them, helping them, change their mindset so that they can take the leap to get to that future. That's amazing.
Thank you, thank you. And we need more role models. I mean, we need people like you to excel at what you do, so people can, the little girls that want to be like in photography, and then empowering women business, they can say, I want to be Victoria, because now they see somebody that they can, identify. And that's the
Right.
thing all of us should be doing. And I know it's hard, but don't do it for yourself, do it for the next generations. And for me, when you were talking about before, like how hard it is, and yes, it is hard, but if you have a very special why, as of
Mm,
why you're gonna continue to push forward, for me, it's my kids. I don't want my kids to go through that. Period. Like it's not worth it. I see them so happy right now, and being on their own. Both of them dance, and and my son likes taekwondo, and my daughter, how can I continue to nurture that? And whenever they go into the workplace or whatever they decide to do, they can do it by being themselves and don't having to change themselves. So that why for me is stronger than
mm.
any how busy or how difficult it is, to make it happen.
Great. That's a great word of wisdom too. Like remember your why, because I
Mhm.
think you're right. That just helps you keep the focus and keep pushing, keep persevering. So you're so full of wisdom. Like guys, if you're watching, please make sure you follow Jenny at Intentional Unicorn. She does a lot of great clips, videos, and she's so funny too. So you really don't want to miss all that. And I know your book is coming soon. So you want to make sure that you're keen into the social media, or she's on Facebook, she's on Instagram, so you can kind of follow along. Make sure you get the book because it's just so packed with a lot of words of wisdom. Now, I want to talk about your. I don't know if I want to talk about it because I don't know if you want to make it public, but I know you're doing something special about the launch of your book with the Intentional Unicorn. Do you want to talk about it?
Oh my God. Should I talk about it? Yeah. So one of the, like, sometimes when we read books, and do you like reading books, Victoria?
Do yes.
And sometimes I put myself like goals. Like this year, I want to read 10 books, right? Or whatever that is. And you get empowered for a second and then you forget. At least
Right,
I do. I'm like, oh, this is amazing, best book ever. And then I put it on a shelf and I forgot everything about it. So I wanted
right.
to create something special because, again, like the whole message at the end of the day is like empowering people to really own those superpowers that makes them unicorn, lead
Yeah.
with them with intention so they can thrive in everything, all aspects of their life. That's personal, that's career, that's business, whatever they do. So
Mm,
I wanted to do a little bit of and we're working on that, but it's almost like a puzzle that you put together in a form of a unicorn. But how can you then a self evaluation of yourself? Okay, what makes me me? How can what makes me a good leader, a good mom, a good whatever? And then write
mhm,
it down, the different pieces of your puzzle, because then you're like, okay, this is how I'm going to show up to
right.
life every
Yeah.
day.
I
And
love
then
Go ahead.
yes, no, like, and it's a puzzle that this is you now, but we're not static, right? We're in a whole evolution and continue to grow. So you may add more puzzles in the future, right? Or maybe there's a puzzle piece that doesn't serve you anymore. You take it and you replace it with an improve, right? So I want everybody to have a really a pictorial of who they are as a
Mm.
unicorn.
That is amazing. I love that concept. And I cannot wait to do mine because I think it brings us back to that first conversation we had about whatever we're doing right now, whether it's your hobby or your business, like you as a mom, whatever it is, like all the strengths from all of those different parts of our lives, bringing it all together. And I love the fact that, you're having people just write them down so that we can see and be reminded of
Yes,
what we are, how great we are, because it's so hard out there, like it's
it
always
is.
negative and negative. But when you see the positive, the potentials that we are, I think that in addition to your why will help us and keep us going. So that's amazing. I love that idea.
Absolutely. And you know what? Sometimes like the biggest superpowers that we have are the ones that we take for granted
Yes. Mm,
because they are so embedded in our DNA, comes so easy to us that we automatically assume everybody is wired this way. And I say,
mm,
for example, like in the Latino culture, resilience is like huge. Like again, it's just the way we do things. We are so used to just because of our culture and upbringing, we go with the flow. We learn, we go, we adapt. And
right.
if you think about it, that's an amazing characteristic to have. But then people take it for granted. And I
Mm,
know actually that's a really good skill set that I would love in every team that I'm leading. How
right.
can you continue to cultivate, take resilience to the gym if that's one of your superpowers and make it even better? So yes.
Amazing. I really love that. So let's talk about when is your book dropping? When is it gonna be published?
So right now it's in June, so we're working towards that, and I'll be announcing the exact date very soon. But I'm super
Great.
excited. I have two more chapters to write, and then the editing process, and then we'll be launching. But I'm really happy. This is again, how can I share my stories? Sometimes we get so trapped into our own little bubble, and we think, this is just me, and like, poor me, and this is just happening to me, and what's wrong with me? And it's not until you hear other people, unfortunately, sharing
Mm.
very similar stories, and you're like, whoa, wait, you too? And there's some connection, and then there's a way on we can learn from each other and really grow and elevate each other by
Wow.
that, and empower the rest. So I just want to share my story, and then through my whole learnings, I want to share the good, the bad, and the ugly, and then
Yes.
the learnings. And then I have like an 8-step approach on every time you have like a big goal, what is the 8-step approach that you have to follow to thrive at it?
Oh, oh my God. Okay, I need to get in on that because I need to learn. Can you share at least one of them? Like it does, just so that we can kind of,
Yeah.
yeah.
So actually, I'm gonna like touch briefly, like very quickly, each
Oh,
of them.
sure,
The
absolutely.
first thing
I
is
wasn't sure if it's proprietary. We have to wait for the book first.
this one thing of me, like I'm very authentic. I
Yes.
don't I don't have a lot of secrets. I don't have secrets, and you get who you get. You get this or every time. But I'll go into a lot of more like stories and strategies for each of them. But you start with deciding, what's that goal?
Mm,
Decide, like, go after. Okay, decide and commit. So
mm,
commit is whenever you really have a purpose behind it, a big why, as of like, this is why I'm committing now, I'm gonna go for it. And then you explore your options, because we think that we either do this or don't do anything, and we think that we only have two options, and that's really, you don't want that. So you explore, really put down all the options that you have, take action, and then you're gonna learn, because not everything is gonna go perfect. You adapt with
mm,
purpose. You expand your network, because you don't have to do it by yourself. You invest
mhm.
in yourself, and you continue to create and amplify. So it's like a little snowball that you continue to grow and get bigger in your journey.
Wow, that's amazing. I was just reading the chat. Someone sent a message saying, "Thank you, Victoria, for bringing Jennifer to share with us tonight. I can relate with this. I felt like I needed to fit in the American template. I am ready to be mean." Oh, God.
Yes.
That is an
Oh my
amazing.
God.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a really great comment there. So, yeah,
Yes.
Jenny, you are doing an amazing job. Yes. So, you said you wanted
No,
to say something.
I wanted to say something. She or he talk about the America template, and they're so right. And that's why I say we need more role models to like change the cycle, because,
Yes.
and I always give the benefit of the doubt to all my previous leaders, but all the feedback that I got, I think they really meant the best, and it was for me to fit that America template that he or she is talking about, right? Because that was what has helped the corporate world for many, many years. That was
Right.
success. And if you were different from that, then that doesn't work, because this is what worked. But the composition in the workplace, the composition of US right now is very different. And doing
Right.
the same thing we've done for many, many, many decades, centuries, is not going to work. And now
Right.
things are changing even faster than anybody. But if you continue to change yourself to fit the mold, you create the same cycle, and you're just creating a
Mm,
bunch of avatar like leaders that they all look, speak, behave the same. And we need to
mm.
change. Like, just change that cycle and continue to amplify the definition of diversity out there.
Wow, that's great. Thank you so much for sharing that. I mean, like for those of you that are watching, you can join in, send a comment in the chat. We're seeing them right here, and we can, it would be great to have that, continuous interaction. Jenny's here. She can answer any questions you want to know, or so please let's take advantage of this. This is such an amazing, I'm loving every bit of this conversation. I kind of want to go back to your coaching program again.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about that? How long is it? Like, what are some of the things that you touch on so that whoever might be out there that might be interested, they can know about it and tell us where to find more information.
Of course, there's different coachings that I do. I
Mhm,
sometimes go to other companies and then talk about how to uncover your Latinx superpower, or how can you just uncover your superpower. How to cultivate unshakable confidence is another one that
mhm,
I do, and I do that more as a team, right? Or I go to DEI, which is Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion
mhm,
summits, and I may do a workshop, or I may do a keynote speech about that. The one-on-one coaching that I offer is called Latinx Unstuck Your Career, and it is a 5 weeks program, and
Okay.
5 weeks, 5 months program. And then each month we talk about certain things, right, on how you can really get to that goal that you want. Maybe it's a year, 2 3 years from now. But
All
I
right.
spend most of my time on mindset, Victoria, because we can learn different strategies, tools, and but it's not until like here you are completely like confident and you understand how to control that you can thrive. A lot of
Wow.
people say success is 20% strategies and tools, right? 80% mindset. So I really, really spend a bunch of time, like majority of the time, really working on that with each person. And then the person leaves obviously with all of those tools, strategies, and a renewed sense of confidence and a game plan on how to tackle that.
That is amazing. I think that's so phenomenal because I totally agree with you as a new business owner. Like you think, oh, I could do. You have this energy and everything, which is great. But there's something about the mindset. If you don't see yourself as a successful business owner, it's almost
Mm-hmm.
very difficult to be successful, because
Mm-hmm.
there's so many things that get thrown at you every single time. So I really love that you're doing that because I think it's so critical. It has to the mindset has to be right for
Yes.
it's like the foundation,
Yes. Yes.
that is so
Absolutely.
powerful. Yeah.
Yes, it takes practice. It takes intentional action. But it can be done. It can be done. And you and I, we're not perfect, but we're a testament on how we are owning, our dreams, and we are making them happen. And
Absolutely.
surrounding ourselves with people that they're also just as energized and want to help each
Right. Oh, Jenny, I love your energy. I just love being around you. Like you're just so full of energy. Like I mean, it for me, it's like, oh, I'm on a high. That is so great. I mean, like even when we did your session, it was such a
other.
beautiful time.
Yes.
We got some great photos, which you guys, you gotta stay tuned. Make sure you're following me on Instagram, Facebook, and also Jennifer on Facebook because those pictures are coming out soon,
Oh my
and they are
goodness. I have
so
to tell you,
beautiful.
if you want an amazing photographer, that's her. That's Victoria.
Yeah.
And
Thank
she
you.
did such a phenomenal job. I could not pick pictures. I kept saying, Victoria, I'm so mad at you now because I don't know. How do I pick? And then I was like, can you help me? And she's like, I don't know either. But it was a fantastic session. And your art, your craft is magic.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. So if anyone is interested, I'm doing a Boss Ladies campaign. I'm photographing on a mission to photograph 50 boss ladies in Indiana in 2022. And one of my boss ladies is Jennifer. Obviously, you see, she's bringing the boss lady vibe. She's definitely a boss lady. And there's been so many great women, that I've met. So spots are limited. So if there's something that you're interested in, make sure you go to my website, victoriaodekomaya.com to schedule a free consultation. We can talk about it and let us know. We'll have a conversation to make sure that this is going to be a good fit for you and for whatever you want to use those images for. So, Jen, tell us, where can we find you? All the information about you.
Well, intentional unicorn
Yes.
in 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 every platform. I In Instagram, I think that's probably the best one because I use a lot of the stories and you can almost like live my life, like we can just talk to each other through
Right.
there. I'm in TikTok, I'm in LinkedIn, I'm in Facebook, and very soon in YouTube, but not yet.
Yes, I'm so excited. I know your YouTube is going to be so like because your Instagram is so entertaining and so filled with so much good, in terms of like goodies, tips, and all of that. So if you are looking to make sure that you get those tips, Jennifer is very generous with her information. So she wants to make sure that you can tell from you, you're so passionate about that, wanting everyone to thrive in their life and in their career. So make sure you follow her and then make sure you go on intentionalunicorn.com and so that
Mhm.
you can make sure you sign up for our newsletter so that you're going to be notified when the book comes out because oh my god, I cannot wait. I know it's going to be great. It's going to be on Amazon, right? And are you doing an
Yes.
audio book for that, or that's
It's
going
in
to
the
be
plan.
on?
The first launch will be the actual book, but the other one is in
Okay.
the plan as well. Mhm.
Right. And I bet we're going to be able to find it on all, where books are sold, right? Amazon
Yeah.
and all of that place. Okay, great. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited. Anything else you want to share with us?
No, if there's, I mean, if you cut even a little bit of these 30 minutes that we've been here together, just please own your unicorn and lead with it. I'm telling you, it's gonna be the sense of freedom that comes with it, and the
Mm,
success that you have because you're in your own element is priceless. And again,
right.
that you remember, you're not only doing it for yourself, for like the next generations to come.
Yes, thank you. Those are great words of advice. I really appreciate your time today. I'm gonna put the links of where to find Jennifer on this video. If you're watching after the life is ended, please put a comment to let us know that you're rewatching, and we would like to hear from you. I know Jennifer would like to hear from you. One fun fact: when I saw you sign up and I was like Jennifer Lopez, I was like, oh my god. I was like, I'm doing something right. So like, I wouldn't have. You are the perfect Jennifer Lopez for me. I kept telling you, I love your energy. I love everything about you. The pictures are so beautiful, and I'm so happy that we're connected because I feel like this is just the beginning. There's so
Yes,
much more that we're gonna do together, and I cannot wait.
100%. I'm looking forward to it,
Me
Victoria.
too. Me too. It was really nice talking to you today. I cannot wait to catch up with you again. If you're watching this live, if you're rewatching it, please put a comment. Let's continue the conversation in the comments. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe, Jennifer, so that you can be up to date on all the great things that she's doing. She's so passionate about inspiring and helping people thrive. And I know that we can all use that in our lives. So, without much further ado, it was really nice talking to you, and have a great rest of your weekend.
Adiós, mi gente, si se puede.
Mwah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.